Hello and welcome to the Aycorp Media Business Spotlight. Today, my good friends from Focus Bank are joining us, Britt McConnell and Anna Ferrell. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Barry.
Anna.
Hi, great to be here.
And thank y'all for being here, and thank you for the great sponsorship to all the high school athletics that you sponsored through Aycorp Media this year. Y'all been a big supporter of ours. Y'all been a big supporter of all the schools. And I just wanted to personally thank y'all, because if it wasn't for businesses like yours, we wouldn't be able to put those on TV and on YouTube for everybody to see. So thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
Glad to do it.
We've broadcasted probably over 100 football and basketball games, a couple volleyball games. We're going to do some baseball, and because of you guys, we're going to be able to do that. Keep doing it.
Great.
Good.
Well, let's get into Focus Bank, a bank that's near and dear to my heart. I do some business there. But before we get into Focus Bank, Britt, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, Britt McConnell is my name. I'm the community bank president of our branch in Sikeston, Missouri. I've been with the bank for 30 years now, as you know, and been mostly in the commercial lending side of it. We do have some agricultural lending, but we're a community bank that serves all aspects of our community, and I'm just thankful to be working for a local community bank with ownership that is invested in our different communities throughout Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas.
Well, Britt, thank you for coming back home today. This is your home here in Malden. Best baseball player to ever come through Malden. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, you may have a debate there, but thanks for that, Barry. I appreciate it.
So, Anna, where are you from? Tell us about yourself, about your family.
Absolutely. I am from Charleston, Missouri, which is where Focus Bank is headquartered. And my husband, Britt Ferrell, is the sheriff of Mississippi County. We have a son, Will, he's 22, a daughter, Elise, she's 20. Both of them are in school studying. So we hope maybe one of them might come back this area and live near us. So one day we might have grandchildren. But I have been at Focus Bank, this is my 20th year, starting my 21st, just had that celebration in November. And Britt actually was in the interview, one of them, when I was hired. And that was during a time where Focus Bank was really expanding. We were actually First Security State Bank then, and we're moving into Sikeston. And they were looking for someone to help them with marketing, to reach out and share the information about what a great community bank we are. So I joined them and have been there ever since, and serve as the marketing director and also as our business development director. Now have the privilege of working with 3 awesome young people in our business development team, and working on our deposit products as well. So a great place to work, and have thoroughly enjoyed every day and all the people that I work with.
Britt, tell us a little bit about your family. When we had our first meeting here at Aycorp Media with the marketing team, your daughter just became a part of that marketing team at Focus Bank. So tell us about your family.
Right, that terrific staff that Anna has, one of them is my daughter, Betsy. I have 2 daughters. Betsy is a graduate of Ole Miss. She graduated in May of 2021. She's been with us since then. She actually started at the bank when she was 15.
Yeah, high school.
As a personal banker on the teller side, and so we're happy to have her and Hallie and Chase as a part of Anna's team. I have a sophomore in high school as well, a daughter, Jenny. She is at Notre Dame High School in Cape Girardeau, and my wife, Lisa, she pretty much takes care of the day-to-day operations in our household.
She's the real boss.
Full-time job. So Anna, tell us a little bit about the history of Focus Bank. How many branches do you have? I remember the name change myself. It hadn't been that long ago. So tell us a little bit about the history of Focus Bank.
Sure. Today we have 10 locations throughout Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas. We have Charleston, Sikeston, East Prairie, Caruthersville. Then we have 2 locations in Paragould, 3 locations in Jonesboro, and 1 location in Marmaduke. A lot of people don't even know about Little Marmaduke, but yes, we have a branch there and love all of our staff and the customers in that area. So we do serve quite a wide geographical area, but we also have a great digital presence. So that's one thing that we've been really emphasizing lately, is that, you know, we don't always have to have a brick and mortar these days. With all of the mobile abilities that we have, online account openings that we offer, so we're able to reach people in a wide variety of ways, which makes it really nice, especially in the most recent pandemic. We were able to still continuing opening new accounts in all of these areas because of the ability to reach people. But we've been in operation since 1931, headquartered in Charleston, Missouri. And over the time, we started out as First Security State Bank. In 2005, went through a name change. We were moving into the Jonesboro market at that time, and there was already another bank chartered in the state of Arkansas under First Security. So we either needed to come up with a new bank name or we needed to merge, so we merged us all into Focus Bank, and it's been a great opportunity for us to really rebrand ourselves and make ourselves known as who we are, and really that we focus on our customers and what their needs and services are.
Focus Bank is a brand that, you know, Southeast Missouri, Northeast Arkansas, they recognize. Did you come up with that name?
We actually hired a marketing firm out of Memphis to work with us on that. Went through a lot of names. We had all of our board of directors and management in a room several occasions, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
And went back and forth. We thought about things to do with the river and things geographically that were important to us in our area. And Focus just got thrown out there, and we all loved it. And we loved the kind of bullseye target that we came up with, and just the fact that it helps us to really, what we always said at that time was see the difference in banking. And so we've kind of really honed in on that type of tagline and phrase and made that come to life for our employees and for our customers.
There's a lot of thought into that name then.
Yes.
It's not so easy just to come up with a great name.
It is not. You are right, and it's not so easy just to change everything when you've been that way for 80 years, you know, at that point. So people forget about all the letterhead and the signage and just the small things that have your logo on them.
So Britt, when you started at Focus Bank, First Security State Bank, what was your role at the time?
So at the time, our president and CEO, Don Burnett, who's since retired, but he's still on our board, he hired me to be a loan/lease officer, because at the time we had two banks, basically, the one in Charleston, the one in East Prairie. We just bought a bank down in Caruthersville. And being in a small agricultural community, there wasn't a whole lot of industry, but we had this lease product at the bank to where we would finance equipment, vehicles, medical, commercial equipment through the lease program. And he wanted to expand on that because that was a way for us to get into these adjoining markets and to develop new customers so that we could cross-sell our existing products and services. And that was kind of the reason he hired me. He named me the road warrior because he wanted me to get into a car and run around to all these equipment dealers and develop relationships, which we did, and then we just built on it from there.
You were kind of on the ground floor of the leasing deal. That really gave a lot of farmers and ag people like a tax advantage. And I know that product that y'all came out with, has it been 30 years ago now?
In 1994, we spun off from the leasing product that we offered to our customers and the farmers in the area and other commercial entities, and even municipalities and school systems benefited greatly from a lease product. So we spun that off into a consulting service that we offer to community banks across the country. In '94, we developed the curriculum, we wrote the manuals, we owned the source code to the software that we had developed for it for pricing and document preparation, and began selling it at banking conferences around the Midwest, and it really took off. And for some time there, we were consulting with 40 banks a year. So you fast forward to today, after 26 years, 27 years, we've trained over 360 banks in 36 states across the country. So it's been a really good outreach program for us in our industry.
And then what do you think gives Focus Bank the advantage now? I mean, when I walk into Focus Bank, my good friend Marty Jackson she takes care of a lot of me and my wife's business. I mean, it's kind of a family atmosphere when you walk in. Jeannie McLeod goes way back with my family. It's just like a family atmosphere when you walk into Focus Bank. So
I think you hit the nail on the head right there. We think of ourselves as a family, just from our employee side of the things. You know, when we're going through things, it's like a family. And so we treat our customers with the same philosophy. One of the things that we have always really emphasized and pride ourselves on is that we have such a passion for that customer service and that direct relationship with you and with your business. and what's going on in your life and how we can help that in any way, and especially on the financial services side of things. So I know that everybody will say, oh, it's our customer service that sets us apart, but I really feel like that it is. But that is also combined with a sharp vision for where things are going, being technology minded and being driven in that direction to always be looking for the next best thing that there again can help our customers. But the true thing is that community banking relationship, just like while we're here today, we want to sponsor these sports programs and we want to be a part of that because we want to be in these people's lives and in their homes. And you know, when we can make things possible for them and their families, that is the best feeling that we can have as a bank, knowing that we have been a direct impact in somebody's life.
All great points, and I agree with you 100%. The family atmosphere is second to none there at Focus Bank. Britt, 30-year career in banking. How's banking evolved? You know, 30 years ago, Britt was one of my favorite baseball players. He played with my brother Bobby growing up, so
Yes.
he kind of was one of my baseball idols back then. But 30 years ago in the banking business till now, how's Focus Bank evolved? How's the banking business evolved? We've been through a pandemic. Let's don't talk about the pandemic. How's the banking business evolved over the last 30 years for you personally?
Oh, goodness. So from a regulation standpoint, it's a lot more onerous to do business nowadays in a way that we want to do business. Like, I try to make everything that we do for a customer to be the easiest, most efficient, less time consuming on their end as it can be. In other words, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because of a lot of the regulation now and the information that we have to gather and the questions we have to ask that are, you know, seem like prying questions sometimes, it just made it a lot more difficult. Back in the day when I started, me and you and me and your brother, we'd make a phone call, you know, on one of those rotary dial phones. Hey, can we do this? Yeah, we'll get it done for you. No information is exchanged, nothing. We knew each other. I mean, it was more of a personal touch, obviously. But I would say that's the biggest thing, other than the technology, with everything that's going on with social media today and the way we can deliver our products online as opposed to, I mean, Anna and I are at lunch, we're talking about the workforce shortage and what we're going to do because we're down on our frontline staff 4 or 5 people. Well, we're talking about getting ITMs in, interactive teller machines, which we don't have to have a physical person there. It's kind of like a scan and go deal at Walmart. You just go up there, do your business, you leave. So, I mean, it's come a long way from, you know, driving around, you know, in a 35-mile radius of Charleston in a car, talking to people, as opposed to now I've got this iPhone and I can talk, I can text, I can email, and I can get deals done over that.
And you know, to his point, when I started, we didn't even have a website. You know, those were just really kind of coming on the scene, and we didn't have, obviously, online banking. Then we didn't have bill pay, and we didn't have bank-to-bank transfers, and we didn't have ACH for our customers to be able to pay people electronically within a matter of hours. We didn't have the mobile app and the mobile wallet, and we didn't have instant issue debit cards. You know, we had debit cards and ATM cards, if you remember those. You had to use one to get the cash out and one to make the transaction. So there have been so many technologically advanced changes that have taken place in the last 20 years that are just almost mind-blowing how rapidly evolving the financial industry has been moving. And many of them all, you know, for the benefit of the customer. But, you know, there are downsides to those too. So, you know, just like he was talking about with the interactive teller machines, we have those in place. We have some live machines outside of our Sykeston branch, East Prairie, Crothersville, Paragould, and Jonesboro locations. And they're great. You walk up, press live teller, a live person comes on the screen. They obviously work for us. And you can do everything that you would do at a drive-through window with a live person, have exact change distributed back to you at one of those machines, deposit numerous checks, you know, get the image of those checks on the back of your receipt so you have verification of that. Who would have thought we would be able to do all of these
Foreign
things?
language back then.
Yeah, you know, and mobile
Exactly.
deposit. I remember sitting in a meeting one day and I said, you know, they have this new technology. When we get this app, they can be able to take a picture of the check with their phone and mobile deposit it. we're never going to do that.
No way.
There's just no way. I mean, that's just not safe. And so to think how far we have come with that technology is just mind-blowing and very helpful. You know, those were some great things that allowed people to continue to bank with us even when they've left our area and moved on, but they still want to bank with us because they like to pick up the phone and call the Britt McConnells of the world and talk to them, or the Marty Jacksons of the world.
Britt, how has current events changed the banking industry over the last 30 years? Like 9/11, we had the Patriot Act, the pandemic. How has that changed the banking industry at Focus Bank?
I mean, you know, it's all going to boil down to a lot of the same answer that I gave earlier, which is regulation. You know, and some of the prying questions that we have to ask now on the deposit and the loan side. I mean, we've got to get in your business more than I feel like we need to be in your business, but it's all because of the documents that we have to fill out for whatever business that you're doing with us. So,
well, and just think, you know, after 9/11, of course, came the Patriot Act out of that. You know, we didn't have anything called OFAC, which is a list that we have to run names through to check to make sure that people aren't on some kind of terrorist watch group. You know, those weren't things that any of us thought about. When you came in to open an account, we just assumed you were who you said you were, and you were there to do business in good faith. And so those completely changed our world as far as the financial side of things, which obviously then impacts it for the customer. You know, and even with the pandemic, we had just launched a whole new program that was a deposit growth program to really revitalize and change all of our checking products. We had gone through some great training and our staff was ready for it. Of course, the pandemic hit, we had to shut things down. And
that's the reason for the blue button.
Yeah, and we began to think about how are we going to continue to open these accounts when we can't even have people come into our branches. And our folks were so quick to revitalize and revamp our thinking, and we started opening accounts in the drive-thru. We had a simplified form. We took that information. We had them to send their ID back across to us. We took that to our CSRs, who magnificently just put that into the system. We told them pull around. We'd even walk out to the car, mask and all, have them sign the papers right there, and made that process simple for the customer so that they could still continue to live just like the rest of us, you know, throughout these changing times. And so I think that all, just like the Patriot Act and just like the pandemic, it all comes back to being adaptable and being flexible. And I think that that's one thing that Focus Bank has always been good at doing. I mentioned earlier about us having really strong visionaries in our leadership and in our management, and that's what they look for is what is the next best thing? How can we implement that? How can we train our staff the best? And then how can we really, truly make a difference for our customer? But we got to be adaptive and be flexible to meet all of those challenges.
Anna, from a marketing standpoint, is it easy to market a bank, or is it, I mean, I know you have a really dynamic team there at Focus Bank. A lot of people think, you know, they've got checking, savings, they give loans, but most people don't know what's going on behind the scenes to actually market the bank.
No, it is not very easy to market a bank. We have one on every corner in every town, in every state. And now, of course, as we mentioned earlier, you don't even have to have a brick and mortar. So it is a very challenging environment and industry to be operating in today. And especially when there's a lot of what we call noise out there. Everybody is getting inundated with messages from all of these other sources saying, hey, you can use us online. Hey, we can do a quick person-to-person payment. So we have to be ready to respond to those things and be able to meet the same demands that the customers have that these larger banks offer. But we do that every day, and we do it wonderfully with a lot of other services that you're not going to get. Like when you call into the bank today, you're going to get a live person. You don't wait in a queue. You're going to have somebody live to speak with all the time. But, you know, there are downsides to that too. So sometimes, you know, we're humans, we make mistakes, so we have to work on that rather than a chat bot picking you up on an online banking session and trying to answer questions. But it's been really interesting to see how things evolve over the last several years in the marketing, especially on the digital side of things, and moving into that whole realm of social media. It's a lot of fun. We enjoy doing it, but it is very challenging.
I know our team's thoroughly enjoyed working with your team on a lot of different media stuff and marketing stuff, and they love working with Focus Bank marketing team.
We love to hear that. Thank you. We hope to continue that relationship.
Britt, what's a big advantage that Focus Bank has over other banks? Now you're talking to your customer right now, so what's a big advantage that the customer at Focus Bank has?
As Anna has said repeatedly, it's the personal service that we give. I mean, let's face it, all these banks have similar or the same product. Okay, we're not reinventing the wheel. But what we do differently, and I feel like uniquely in our markets, is we create relationships with our depositors, with our borrowers, and we want them to know that we're here for them 24/7, and we are, because I get emails at night, I get phone calls on the weekend. I answer them as I get them. And so when we provide that sort of service, along with the emphasis that we have on our community and our giving back to the community, whether it be with our human resources, we have several employees that sit on boards of directors of several entities throughout the town, you know, members of civic organizations, taking the lead on a lot of the charitable events that are happening in town, providing an opportunity for our employees to get involved in that way, really solidifies the brand that we have, and you know, our philosophy of it's community first, and then, you know, whatever they give back, we'll take.
Well, Britt, thank y'all for being on Aycorp Media Business Spotlight. Thank you again for the sponsorship this year for all the high school sports. It continues for the next week or two on the basketball sports.
Good deal.
So thank you very much.
Thank you, our pleasure.
And I'm not shaking Anna's hand yet. I'm going to give her the last word directly to a customer, but thank you very much for coming.
Yes, absolutely. You know, all I can say is Focus Bank is a wonderful place for us to work, but it's an even better place for you all to bank. If you are ever having questions or doubts about where you're banking today, just give us a call. We will be happy to walk you through the process to determine really what is the best account or the best product for you. It's truly all about you. It's truly all about our customers. And all it's going to take is that phone call or get on our website and make an appointment to come in and visit with anybody personally. We're here for you, and we're going to continue to be in our community. We're a strong bank, and we're an active bank in every community we serve. So we look forward to seeing you, and we hope that we'll be able to help your family succeed financially and in your future to come.
Focus Bank, they're making a difference in the communities in Southeast Missouri, Northeast Arkansas. Thank you.
Thanks, Barry.